the injury to Jimmy Garoppolo kind of clouds that picture, I think, as we start to look at this. For anyone that missed it, Jimmy Garoppolo, the Niners quarterback, early in their game this weekend, it was 11 minutes and 22 seconds into the first quarter, took a hit from Jerome Baker and Jalen Phillips in the backfield and ended up injuring his foot, breaking his foot, and will require season-ending surgery for Jimmy G. Which, first off, like, I know we've all had a lot of discourse about Jimmy G and his role and his station in that team and what kind of quarterback he is. This sucks flat out. Like, this is an incredibly depressing blow to the 49ers season and to Jimmy Garoppolo, who we've talked about, all-time Vibes teammate and a guy that I know this team really rallied around.
Yeah, Mike, it was tough to see. Tough to see him go down, because he was very important to the offense. But after seeing what Brock Purdy came out there and did, Mike, I'm starting to feel like that stuff that you say about Tua and the stuff you say about Jimmy G and all the weapons around him, looks like I think the 49ers might be okay without him.
Well, the reason they might be, and I guess that's the question, is are the 49ers still the same caliber of Super Bowl contender, dangerous team without Jimmy G? I would have to say, like, that takes a big hit now, right? Like, if you're the Eagles, if you're the Cowboys, if you're these other teams at the top of the NFC, this is, it's not good news. You obviously don't want Jimmy Garoppolo to be hurt, but it is severely weakened this team because while Brock Purdy went out and performed really well in this game, the rookie, or I forget if he's a rookie this year.
I believe so.
But he was Mr. Irrelevant in the draft. He was the very last pick of the NFL draft. Got thrown into this game and performed pretty admirably for the most part in this one, Brandon. And I say that, I mean, somewhat surprised. A quarterback picked at that point in the draft is not one that you expect to, one, see the field, and two, help his team win when he did. And we know most of this game was about what the 49ers did on defense. That group was suffocating and really bothered Tua Tagovailoa for most of the afternoon. Fred Warner was a menace in the middle of the field. Nick Bosa had 3 sacks in this game. And so it certainly paved the way on the other side. Brock Purdy finished 25 of 37 for 210, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He got sacked 3 times. And so a lot of that sounds like what would happen when you've got a young player in there, especially the 3 sack portion of things. The interception came very early in him being out there. It was 10-10. He threw a bad back shoulder ball that ended up getting picked off. And you thought, all right, this could spiral a little bit for a young player who was going out there and trying to make it happen. And Brandon, I got to say, I was very impressed by the poise when you looked at how the 49ers managed to get out ahead of this one. Like, I think it always starts, and I think it's very interesting, the effect that 2-minute drills have on young players, especially young quarterbacks. You saw him go down there and execute in a 2-minute drill, made that big, I thought his best throw of the day was in that 2-minute drill around midfield when he ripped that ball under pressure to George Kittle in the middle of the field for the first down. Right. Executed well against the blitz in the red zone, and so they managed to go down and get points off that. But overall, man, like, I don't know, what did you think of Brock Purdy's performance, and did it make you feel better about the 49ers situation?
I'll say this, for a guy who got thrown out there and was not ready, because we talked a couple times last week about preparing to go into a game and knowing that you're going to go into a game versus being thrown out there. I think he did a good job, Mike. I mean, he looks like a freshman in high school, but I think that he's got a little something to him. And you always got to trust the defense and what the defense says, Mike, because I thought Fred Warner after the game told me everything I needed to know when it comes to them going forward. Obviously, he knows that team is led by he himself, Nick Bosa, Jimmy Ward, everyone else on that defense. But he said that Brock Purdy has that it. and he always runs 2-minute drills on Friday's practice, when the main thing they do is 2-minute drills. And he says he takes pride in defeating that defense the same way that defense takes pride in stopping Brock Purdy, because he's got that it factor. He says you could just see when he walks around the locker room, he just knows that he's got it. And he said he's always chirping in his ear during those drills because he knows Brock Purdy can take it. So there's something about that, Mike. And as someone who is, I got really close with Tommy Reese when I was a scout team nose guard, dealing with the starting offensive line a lot at my senior year at Notre Dame. Like I understand that relationship of that respect between the two. So and I don't think Fred Warner's a capper. Like, he's not just saying stuff to the media. If he has anything to say, he won't say it at all. Like, the fact that he feels confident with Brock Purdy tells me everything I need to know.